Welcome back, everybody. Kids and germs seem to go together like peanut butter and jelly, but there are ways that parents can actually help protect their kids from the usual bombardment of back-to-school illnesses, Chris.
Sanford's children's pediatrician, Dr. Stephanie Hansen, is here to tell us how parents can talk to their kids and their children about keeping themselves germ clean, if you will. So great to have you here. You go back into school, all this new stuff is flying around. What do you say to people that go, hey, you need some germs, though, to help build up your immune system?
That's a good question.
Well, certainly.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great question. Germs are in the world all around us. I mean, they're unavoidable, and our body's exposed to that every day. Most of them don't cause any problem, but there are germs that do make you sick, and we want to be able to protect our kids from those as much as possible.
So besides getting the vaccines, which, let's talk about vaccines.
Yeah.
Is that a necessary thing when you're going back to school?
Certainly. I mean, vaccines are probably the #1 thing parents can do to help keep their kids safe and protected from infection. We vaccinate against several diseases that can cause very serious illness, so we really rely on those to help keep our kids safe.
But some parents are standoffish about vaccines. What would you say to those parents?
It's true. I think vaccines are some of the most well-tested medications that we offer as physicians, and I really trust vaccines. I vaccinate my own children, and I really encourage people to talk to their physician if they have questions or concerns.
Yeah.
And any key tips for just kind of the everyday germ things? I mean, you sending your kids there with like little Purell bottles, or what do you suggest?
You know, I think hand washing is really the major thing that kids can do to protect themselves, and kids need to be taught how to wash their hands properly. So you want to make sure they wash before they eat, after they come in from recess, when they come home from school, after they use the restroom. They really need to scrub. I mean, it should be an active activity, so teach them how to use soap to scrub their hands together, and they should scrub for the amount of time that it takes them to say the alphabet. That's a quick little way to teach them how to do
That's
it.
a great
I
idea.
love that.
Something to teach Isabella, right?
So you like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H,
Yep.
A? Really?
Yep, scrub for that length of time and then rinse.
Are we talking like power through A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, or are you talking like A, B, C?
Somewhere in between. It should take about 20 seconds.
I'm an
a great
either
little
or
note.
girl. I'm either slow or
It's
fast.
black or white, right, Stanwood?
Yeah, that's an easy thing for kids to remember and a great way how to teach them, and it makes it kind of fun.
Yeah, and then also when they're back to school, before they go into the classroom, if they're coughing, sneezing, how can they be courteous to other kids if they are kind of catching on to some stuff?
Sure, I really like to teach kids when they cough to cough into their elbow. Their elbow's always with them, and that's an easy way to keep the germs off their hands. If they're coughing in their hands and then touching things, that spreads germs a lot more quickly.
Oh, that just creeps me out. You can also just teach them to dab. Like
There you go.
there you go. If you're gonna sneeze, at least dab and sneeze, right?
Right.
Yes.
And what would you say to parents? Because, like, sometimes, for example, our daughter might, have a sore throat or a little bit of a cough. I mean, should we just keep her home to not germinate other areas, or where would you kind of have that fine line?
Yeah, I mean, kids are going to get sick. That happens every year. And, some guidelines we use, if your child has a fever, they should definitely stay home, and that's anything above 100.4. We like kids to be fever-free for at least 24 hours before returning back to school. And then if their symptoms are so severe that it's going to impact their learning or be a distraction to someone else, if they're coughing continuously, if their throat is so sore they can't eat or drink, they should stay home.
That's good advice. We're going to come right back to you. We're going to take a quick break, but we're also going to have more advice. Stay with us.